Hi, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Armchair Keepers of Arcane Secrets. I'm your host, Matt Ryan, and I'm joined with the other host.
Bob Geis.
And here we are. We're going to do a recap of our most recent session because Bob and I were back into our groove. We're playing a lot. Bob, you played
I
Wednesday
played
or
last
Thursday,
Thursday, just Thursday, a couple days ago.
and I played yesterday.
Yes.
And I did a lot of the blather in last episode. So, Bob, and now, folks, we're going to keep this tight. I'm under strict orders to keep this tight because we went on and on. And when I say we, I meant me. So, Bob,
All right. Fantastic. It was a long episode. We're not going to do it this time. Focused on it. All right. So
I'm focused.
it was in we England. I think chapter 4, or at least session 4 in England. So we started off in Hinson Manufacturing, and again, I was bringing in a new player into the fold, and so that kind of changed the dynamic a little bit. But we picked off right where we left off with everyone. The shift change from Hinson. The employees were leaving the factory, and the investigators were kind of on the side of the street, kind of looking at them. And so the new player played one of the Henson manufactured employees. And
Good
so,
idea.
and his stick was that he was not like really in with the in crowd with the rest of Henson. He was the guy at work who doesn't want to do the social things, right? We all know that guy.
We know
I'm
that
that
guy.
guy. So
That guy's name is Bob Geis.
and his name's Bob Geis, yeah. So when they all went to the pub, he kind of went on his own way because he had been having misgivings about what was happening at Henson. So then the players talked with this fellow about his misgivings, and also there was the one young guy who was the cultist amongst them, was under orders by the foreman to go and buddy up to this estranged factory worker who was my new player. So this guy kind of stuck around with them, and the players just kind of whisked him and the new player off to a little cafe in Derby, where they had this talk. All right. And so there was the cultist there behind his menu as they were having this conversation. And then one of the players started saying things about Gavigan, right? About how Gavigan is a scoundrel and that sort of thing. And so this cultist who was there became very nervous about this and quickly developed a tummy ache that he had to leave for. So he took off, and they pursued him. And Matt, right here, right now,
This is
I
going to floor
did
me.
it the chase rules. I had to use the chase rules. And it caught me completely off guard. I was not prepared for the chase rules. And I will say that is a significant weakness of the chase rules. They are not something you should just be unprepared for because it requires a little bit of setup. So,
It works. What happens with me if I have to do a spontaneous chase that I haven't thought about is I just sort of break it down to like dex rolls. You know what I mean? It's
yep.
like, and I don't like to use characteristic rolls. I would much rather use skill rolls.
Yeah, I had to do. I did something similar. I did the thing where I compared the move. Right there's a move stat which I used for the first time last session. Right, and so it actually made a difference. So one guy was apparently faster, and so he was able to catch up. And so there was a confrontation right at the side of the street. The cultist was trying to get through traffic. That was one of the obstacles they talk about. But things went south. He got hit by a car, and so he was very badly hurt. But the players rescued him, right? And he was taken to the hospital, right? The hospital there in Derby. And so then all of the players, took that moment to go into the factory, right? They knew from the other player that there was going to be a couple of night watchmen there. So they went in there to the night watchman under the pretense because they had actually stolen the Ferris delivery truck, right? And they've been driving that around England.
You
All right.
love the Ferris delivery truck.
Yes,
They,
and so
they horked it and they've been cruising around in it.
exactly. So they were making a delivery, and so
Yeah.
they got into the facility, but it was an ambush, right? Because Frank Marshall knew about what was going on because he had been the emergency contact for the guy that got hurt. Blah 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 blah. He's back there at the warehouse, ready to ambush them. But I've been taking it easy on my players. I've been taking it easy on them. This was a poorly planned ambush by the bad guys. There was only 3 of them, right? And so the players outnumbered them badly. And so they got in there. Frank revealed himself, and the guns were drawn, and they had the drop on the players, right?
Yes.
But then, one thing led to another. One of the players did this heroic leap into the guy and it kind of knocked him down, and they were wrestling around. And then Frank unleashed the lightning, right? He used that Pharaoh's blast, which is really cool, and blasted one of the guys, hurt him a little bit, not significantly. And then he the new guy shot Frank and rolled a 0-1. So Frank was executed right then and there.
And I'm going to say this right now. Player that happened in my game. Players love when that happens.
Yes. Yes.
They love it. It's like rolling a nat 20.
Oh my gosh, it is. And so much more, right? So
it's so much more, right? Yes.
he was automatically taken out of the fight. The bottom line is it was a good session because they wiped out the bad guys in short order with, I think somebody got wounded. Somebody got that lightning blast. He got hurt pretty bad, but nobody's dead. Nobody's incapacitated. And then they were able to scour the Henson Manufacturing and were able to find all of the goodies there, including that wonderful schematic, right? That wonderful schematic.
The map, right?
And I will flash that out here for everybody to see.
Okay, yeah. Take a shot of that. Mine's buried away somewhere in the.
Likewise, and the great thing about this is, it's the love hate, mostly love, but my gosh, sometimes that the H.P. Lovecraft Historical Society props they will bite you. It's like, well, this looks like a bomb. It's like, oh yeah. It's like, and then they were asking me questions about it. It's like,
there's a rocket with a bomb in it.
It's
yes,
like,
that's exactly what it is.
They were asking me all kinds of questions, like, well, blah blah blah. It's like I don't know anything about rockets or bombs or anything. I don't know. But it was a good session. They loved that prop. That wowed them. Also sank a serious hook for Australia when they got the crate from Darwin. It came from Darwin, right? I can't remember the name of the people, but whoever it is, the Australian people, the little label, the shipping label on the crate that of the parts that came in that were the prototypes, or I guess the models were the prototypes for that came in from Australia. So somebody just said we should go to Australia. So who knows? It may happen. It may happen.
Might happen with me as well.
So so they got all the stuff there. They dug through the crates and they had a little bit of time to go through that and really get a lot of the good information from Henson Manufacturing, which I'm excited about because again, that's new content for me in masks to explore. So we'll see where that goes, right? And so they also pinned it back to the warehouse back in London. That was where the parts were being shipped out. So they took some of the parts, they mangled some of the parts in Henson Manufacturing. I don't know if your guys did, but there was definitely some sabotage.
No, but the brawl at Henson's for us happened in the driveway, and it was over quick. It was over quickly. The investigators were retreating, but they did shoot and kill Frank Marshall.
Okay, yeah. So this was the sabotage. I mean, there's no question about it. They have crippled the current inventory there at Henson, right? So
that's significant. My players haven't done that yet. They haven't affected the grand plan at all.
The grand plan is definitely going to be using the secondhand parts that Sir Aubrey has, and they of course uncovered the Pale Viper. It's like, who is the Pale Viper?
Isn't that a good one? That's good. Do they all have nicknames? Do all of the survivors?
I don't think so. They should. They should. But the Pale Viper is very nice. And they definitely liked that and are really going to. And that was who is the Pale Viper? And they were trying to pin it on who it could have been, but they weren't thinking. They're still not thinking Carlisle Expedition. They're thinking Gavigan. He's the Pale Viper. So next, and then they left that session on their way to the Mizzier house for the showdown with Edward Gavigan, right? And so I'm excited about that. I'm going to have some plans, some ideas how I'm gonna do that, but that will be for the next session. That will be.
You've got to decide. You've got to decide if you're going to do a ceremony, and we've talked about this now three or four times.
Did. And I've thought about this too. Is it a ceremony or is it a straight up ambush? Right? Is it an ambush? Because I had in my brain, I actually hadn't done anything with this, but Frank was actually being invited to this ceremony for a special like, he was getting promoted or something. I don't know. But now he's not. And so will word reach from Henson, will reach Mazir House? How would that happen? So I'll have to play with that, and I will let the players' actions dictate this. If they dither, then word could reach him. But if they make a beeline for it,
Yeah.
they could beat the word there. And of course, Zahara, she knows what's happening, right? But the way I'm playing it is she is less interested in the big picture about the grand plan and is more interested in the micro level stuff that she has going with Gavigan.
And control of England
Yeah, exactly,
and
exactly,
being Omar's second in command.
exactly. All right, that's my recap. It was a great session.
It was
Nobody
good. And you
died.
you brought it in at 11 minutes. You took exactly 50% of the podcast.
Exactly, as by design.
I had a full table, 7 people. My lovely wife, Casey, has rejoined us. She had to take a couple of weeks off for different things. So she's back. So we had to do a lot of updates. We had to do a couple of characters had to advance, and then we had to do this other stuff, and this other stuff, this other stuff. And then with the recap, I let the players lead the recap of where we all are. And if you remember, they're all pinched in the great chamber of Nyarlathotep, right? That's where we're going to start when they're being rushed by the children of the Sphinx. And here to think about this, right? I doodled some children of the Sphinx there for the fans at home, right? Some ibis-headed motherfuckers. So then that took half an hour, Bob. I looked at my watch. It took half an hour of game time to get all of the I's dotted and all
Yeah.
the players caught up, and then to go and piece all the clues together. But then they're there. And I did as suggested. The children of the Sphinx, the creatures, just kind of moved through them. And I did my little plan. Okay.
Yeah.
So I handed out pieces of paper and I said, just write down what you do. And then I revealed it in order. One of the physical pieces of the chamber of Nyarlathotep is a stairway that descends to hell. It's just this stairway with this red mist, right? That takes people out of the game. I think it's supposed to be like an insta kill thing. And I was prepared. If anybody walked down the stairs, I was going to kill them.
Good. Do it.
And one did.
Did you do it?
Yes. I handed out the NPC character sheet. And then the guy immediately following did it. And then I was like, oh, I balked.
Oh.
I didn't want to do it to 2 in a row. So I did. Another suggestion is in the text is massive damage. 1d6 plus 2. I did that instead.
All right.
So I crushed them with the damage. But I was prepared. I was prepared to have somebody go down. This is the halfway point for me, I think. Here we're in the Great Chamber, right? This is the place where we lose an investigator. And the end of the story is I couldn't do it. I'm rolling in front of people. The children of the Sphinx, they're terrible.
Oh
Couldn't
man.
fight their way out of a paper bag. So we
Oh.
go. So we go all through the thing, and I've got two investigators that have been reading books and they've been going nuts. They've been reading Mythos tomes and they've been slowly going nuts. So I'm leading them on. I'm telling them that they hear a voice in the back of their head telling that there's more to this chamber, more to this chamber. So they go to the sarcophagus and they fixate on the Necrotis, whatever the hell her name is,
Yeah.
the
Uh-huh.
queen, the sarcophagus.
The mummy.
And then they go past that and they see the thrones and they
Mhm.
see the causeway. And then they go past that and they see the giant black hole all the way
Uh-huh.
in the end. Now,
Oh,
during
yeah.
a ceremony, a great sphinx comes out of this, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I have them make Cthulhu Mythos rolls because at this point they all have Cthulhu
Yeah.
Mythos, and somebody rolls an 01.
Oh, nice.
So I tell him, and he's the guy with the investigator that's been reading the Mythos tome. I say, that if you walk into this room and say Nyarlathotep, it will take you to the heart of the matter. That's what I said.
Oh, wow.
So they did, and it zipped the whole crew to the bent pyramid.
Wow.
And then I let them explore the room, and they saw all the bas relief carvings. And then I kind of immediately, somebody sat down on the throne, the lights lit up,
Yeah.
and I had Nyarlathotep possess him, inhabit him.
Yep.
And it was, I'll take the credit for this. It was 100% underwhelming.
Really?
The investigate my crew did not blink. They because I think my dice rolling has been so bad and theirs
Yep.
has been so good, they are very overconfident.
You had two chances to change that. I'm just saying.
so so then we go through this whole thing and they're not playing ball and he says, well, you're doomed. He explains the whole thing, the whole 3 points, right? And I held up the picture from the main book of the
Yep.
carving of the and the three little dots in Australia and that. And people were sketching them in their little
Yep.
notebooks. They were sketching the thing, and then the three rubies lit up at the lights, and they're like, okay, we got to go to 3 places. So I might be going to Australia too. And then Nyarlathotep leaves the body that's it's inhabiting,
Yeah.
and that guy has to make a sanity roll, and he fails.
Okay.
So the sanity loss is D100,
Oh yeah.
and he rolled an O2.
Ugh. Yep, it happens sometimes.
So, so I'm, secretly chomping at the bit because I think,
You know what I'm going to
drooping.
say.
I'm hoping that we lose an investigator here, and then I couldn't do the insta kill thing, like you step on lava in a room that's got a red carpet.
Hey, hey, it should have been hot. I should have known it was hot.
That's an inside joke, folks. We'll tell you about it at a show if you ever meet us. So okay, so and that was the game, that was the show, right? And I had them. They take camels back from the bent pyramid and they go back to the hotel, and the whole crew's there, and they haven't really lost anything. Was some of them have picked up some phobias. We've got some, and sanity is being worn down. But what developed was they're very interested in stopping the resurrection of the mummy Nikotis. And I don't actually didn't think that was that interesting because that's a ceremony.
Yeah, it is, but it's kind of cool, right?
Well,
It,
it's good. But when we talked last episode, we talked about what's the climax. It's the one that happens at the end,
yeah.
right? So I guess I had thought that talking with Nyarlathotep would be the climax, and I was wrong.
Hmm.
So
Well,
I
yeah.
have to decide: am I going to do the scene where they're in the holy temple with the other holy warriors protecting the girdle from
Yep.
hunting horrors,
Yep.
or am I going to have that already happen? Use the prop that says, "Well, there was this temple collapsed, that everybody died,"
Yep.
and just move them straight into the ceremony.
That's selfishly, I want you to do the whole hunting horror thing, so it gives me a little bit more time to catch up with you, or at least not fall so far behind. But I would be, if I was in your shoes, I would be hard pressed to do that, and I would just short circuit that. And because again, it's a nice callback to that ceremony, that ceremonial chamber they would have to go back to,
They have to
right?
go. And yes, here's another fun thing: is there's more than this. I drew several maps of the ceremonial chamber just to
Yeah.
understand it.
Yeah.
At the table, I did not put a map out.
Okay.
I think putting a map out all of a sudden makes people feel a lot safer.
Yeah, that's probably true.
They can say, "Oh, look, well, this connects to this," and I just stayed ambiguous with the whole thing. I just tried to keep it atmospheric and creepy, and I think I succeeded. I think I succeeded with the creepy factor. But so that's what's next for us. I think I was thinking that if I don't do the hunting horror chamber, I'm kind of depriving them of that bit of story arc, aren't I?
I don't know. I mean, yes, you are, but I mean, a part of this long campaign is about cutting out some of the stuff, right? We can't do every single scene, and sometimes players need to pay for dithering, right? So if they dither, then they may miss a scene or may miss an opportunity. Um, but I mean, you can do it if you want.
I'm undecided. We'll see how things unfold. Maybe we'll
Yeah,
get
yeah.
some wisdom from the comments in the podcast when we put this up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. I really do think that you have great opportunity of going back to that ceremonial chamber, and if they try to go back into the black void to escape, it should not be empty this time because we know who can be coming out of there.
Oh well, yes, yes, yes. No, and I don't think I'm going to let him go back to the secret chamber in the bent pyramid either. That's just going to be gone.
Yeah, well, I think that well, it would be cool is if they thought that we have an escape route. We'll just run in there and teleport away. It's like, no, no, you won't.
Right, right. I've got a guy. I've got an investigator that's got a his character knows two spells. One of them is summon Shub. Not no. The thing of the wood creature of Shub Niggurath.
Oh, the Dark Young?
Yes,
Jeez.
and he's
All right.
itching to cast that spell, but he keeps asking what it does, and the spell is called summon the children of the woods.
Oh, nice.
And
Well,
he says, well, what comes? And I said, a child of the woods.
you'll find
Well,
out.
well, can I, if I'm reading more, can I figure out what that is? I said, well, you figured it out. The text says it's a child of the wood.
Right, right.
I'm thinking, what do you want? A monster manual entry?
Exactly. Yeah, yeah. No,
Cast the damn spell. Then you'll
find
find
out.
out what it is.
That's experimentation. That's science.
So I got to read how the spells work because I'm terrible at how the spells work. But okay, we're 21:30. We've got 30 minutes to land this.
30 seconds.
30 seconds. Thank you for joining us, folks. Again, we've got Bob and I have got some really exciting things in the fire that we can't quite talk about yet because we haven't got everything worked out. But it's pretty cool shit, and there's opportunity for fun. And I got a bag of pins of arcane. What is this
Armchair
thing called?
keepers of arcane secrets.
I got a
Pins.
bag of those pins. So at every convention I go to from here to the end of the year, come bug me and I'll hand you a button and I'll give you a hug.
That's
You might
fantastic.
not want the hug.
All right. Like and subscribe.